There's a line that is drawn by rejecting the Lord, where the call of His Spirit is lost, and you hurry along with the pressure of my throne. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost? Have you counted the cost? If your soul should be lost, though you gain the whole world for your own, even now it might be that the line you have crossed. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost? You might batter your hope for eternity's morn, for a moment of joy at the most, for the glitter of sin and the things it will win. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost? Have you counted the cost? If your soul should be lost, though you gain the whole world for your own, even now it might be that the line you have crossed. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost? Well, the door of His mercy is open to you, and the depth of His love you exhaust. Won't you come and be healed? Won't you whisper, I do? I have counted, I have counted the cost. Have you counted the cost? If your soul should be lost, though you gain the whole world for your own, even now it might be that the line you have crossed. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost? Have you counted the cost? If your soul should be lost, though you gain the whole world for your own, even now it might be that the line you have crossed. Have you counted? Have you counted the cost? Hallelujah. Many people who have come to know the truth of the gospel and the truth of the things that might not be known as sinful, but they have become dangerous to a Christian life. Not just our own Christian lives, but even the other Christians around us. It's unfortunate that we have been misunderstood to be judgmental or showing off that we are holier than every other person. But that's not the case. For example, myself, there are things that I was told before. And about salvation, I was taught salvation. All I could do was to argue. I even bought the Bible for the first time, not for any other reason but to read so that I may argue and win the arguments. And there are many people who are out there who are like me then, who when they are being told this is not right, and the first thing they will run to is arguing. They will not agree that it is wrong. Not as if we don't know that if we continue telling you, you will hurt us, we are not going to live the best life from the point of best in this world, because then it's almost like we are making enemies out of everyone by telling them this is wrong, this is not right. One thing I promise you today, all my contacts, all my social media accounts is this: if I see something that you're doing that is not right, it doesn't matter if you don't believe or you believe in it, I will always tell you. I will tell you that this is not right because of A, B, C, D. The reason is this: we were saved. It's a very special feeling when we are finally accepted. And I always regretted telling myself, if only I received this salvation earlier. Because just like the song I just finished singing, I was told of salvation. Then I was Catholic, and for some reason Catholics do not get saved, or they don't believe in being born again. And I argued a lot, but later on I didn't know that God was actually trying to protect me from something that was going to happen in future. Until that thing happened, I lived in misery for more than a year. That was the time now I had to learn it the hard way, but thanks be to God, because today I'm saved. And I believe that every person who God brings my way and I see something wrong, then I am supposed to speak. Because if I don't speak, who knows what the future is? Who knows why God brought you my way? Who knows why I had it in my spirit to tell you that? It doesn't matter if you believe me or not, but I want to tell you that God will not come in his form to come and tell you this is right and this is wrong. There's the Bible, yes, but the Bible had been misinterpreted. Just like during the time of Jesus, they used to say that he is breaking the laws of Moses, but he was correcting. He was trying to show them that no, Moses didn't mean it this way, he meant it this way, but they never understood him. It is the same thing that is happening in this generation as well. We have the Bible, yes, but there are so many interpretations of what the Bible is. There are so many, it have been changed and turned into almost a rag that doesn't have any value again. It's like the Bible of nowadays is like the pieces of when you have chewed the sugar cane, those remains. That's what the Bible today is. They might look okay to you, but definitely the nutrients have been removed and thrown away. But there are people like me whom by God's grace we have come to know these things. We have come to see the other aspect of the things that we used to do that were not right, and the effects they had in our lives, and after changing how it have helped us so much. That's why we keep on speaking, regardless the fact that you might hate us. There are so many disadvantages speaking out, but again, just like God, he looks at your heart. And this is the actual meaning of God looking at your heart. He looks at your heart in the sense of you might still be doing something wrong. Instead of him finally, like a judge will just hold tongue, this is the judgment, immediately you sin. But he will make all the efforts to search for that heart. He will make all the efforts, use anyone, use anything to reach to you. He is interested in your heart. That's why you hear things that we say. That's why you get to know, to hear that, no, this is not right, this is not wrong. Even if you might not believe. But again, it's God making efforts. He will not come like a spirit. He uses people. And one of the instructions he gave to us who have been saved is to save others as well. Because we were not saved by the God, the Spirit, they came and then and told us the things that we know. No. But he used people as well. The same way, it's our responsibilities now to go and tell others. So ladies, wearing trousers, I may not have the time to explain everything, but one of the things that I want you to know today is that truly we live in the 21st generation, a generation that is ruled by the worldly people, a generation that is ruled by the devil, a generation that is ruled by his agents who are everywhere, manufacturing every kind of things that were not there before, that were not relevant before, but they are more relevant today. Why? Because he's creating a destruction. He is creating more sins underground, so that by all means he will disconnect us from God our Father completely. And slowly by slowly he has succeeded. Some of the things that are out there to trap the Christians are things like trousers, makeups, fashion. Those are things that were definitely not brought by Christians, but the worldly people. What Christian did was we live in the world, so they took things from the world. Because I said it's the devil's work, then he decided to now grow it to the point that it is now expected, even in places that you might have to be forced to do certain things, like wearing trousers at work. There are some works where if you do not wear trousers, then you will not get to work. Meanwhile, that it was just a step. So it was when the bigger number of Christians started accepting it that the devil now, tied the knot. And it's so hard right now to come out of it. But again, it's unfortunate that if you have to be free from that trap, then you have to sacrifice a lot of things. For example, I can tell you for myself, it is true that I never liked trousers. Just my spirit never accepted it. And it's something that have always happened. My spirit always rejected certain things. It's something that I never explained until I got born again. That's when I understood why. But there was a point where I was making a rethink. There's a point where I actually wore trousers when we were coming to Australia. When we went to school, I was forced to. And somehow I wish I was born again, because I would not have worn it. But again, the deed have been done. And now I'm at the point where I do not want to wear trousers again, because now I understand the godly point of view, which is most of those clothes were made with an intention, with a purpose. Yes, it's people who made them, but there's a spirit behind every people. The worldly people are not led by God's spirit. Never. It is the devil, because they do not know God. They are still in the hands of the devil. Until they get to know him, until they get to accept him, then will they be free. Outside that, anything they make, their master have an intention. And those clothings, those makeups, those things that have come up for men, they have the dreadlocks, the funny dressing styles, removing their t-shirts, bikinis. There's worldly musics, just to mention a few. I wish you will have a rethink. And this is my point. There's an intention that the devil had when he made these people to do that. Remember, it is the same devil who tricked Adam and Eve to eat the fruit. So he have brain. That's why these people have had the brain to do things even more than Christians, and were able to market very well to the Christian generation, and they fell into the trap of their master. It is not their fault. They do not know it, but the devil knows what he's doing. So I might say in very little words that if you do use those things, then you are falling into his trap. And now that you can hear this, just know that God is interested in your heart. And he wants to save you, not just from the hands of the devil, not just from the plans he had, because obviously he had a plan. That's why he had to look for something to draw you unknowingly. And when he has finally succeeded, he can accomplish his plans. I have tested my own portion of bitter. I don't know what name to use, but I do not wish you to learn it the hard way. Make a U-turn while you can. It's not a sin. Neither will you lose anything if you leave those trousers, if you leave the makeups, because when God created everything, he said they were beautiful. But when he created man, it was very beautiful. So he didn't make a mistake. One thing I've learned from my pastor is that the reason we always feel bad about ourselves, or the reason people might look at themselves and see an ugly picture of themselves, it is not the actual picture. It can change. Yes, it can. And the picture is one that, it's like a mask. That's why I say it can change. It's like a mask that the devil has decided to put on you, so that finally he will be able to now sell those things to you. You feel like it's only through makeup that I'll put on and look at my face and be happy. Those things that you have to put on your head and be happy. You might have a little space where you just remove your makeup and feel happy. That's an evidence that there is something beyond that face that you can see. The kind of face that you get pimples, that gets, the way it looks, you do not just like it. It is the mask. And the reason for that mask is so that you'll continue to remain in that box that the devil has put you in, where you will still depend on makeup, and he will make you to understand that it's God's product, So it's very hard to understand me even now. I agreed, but hopefully the few words that I've said today will make an impact in your heart. And trust me, if you make a decision to change today, it won't be long till you start seeing yourself and looking at a very different picture of you. And the only secret that I can give to you right now is to leave those things, one, and then start a life of prayer. Lots of prayers, at least 2 hours daily. and do them from your heart. And the rewarding God will definitely not forget you, your efforts and your hard work and your sacrifice to do those 2 hours from your heart, because He sees your heart. But also the outside is important. Thank you for listening. Amen.